All right, here we go. So, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I'm kind of looking at a game that I, very interestingly enough, stumbled across a while ago, and it's not something that I was expecting to find. Um, Back when I was on my Xbox, I was looking through the Microsoft Store because I was bored, looking for kind of low tier games, like subpar games, and I was just kind of going through the cheap stuff. And I somehow stumbled across a game called Crypt of the Serpent King. I took a look at the game because the cover itself looked very interesting, and I wanted to get an idea of what the game looked like. And what I saw was compelling enough for me to spend like the $2 it was to get the game and play it to completion. Um, Crypt of the Serpent King is a very interesting game. It is in this. It's basically a dungeon crawler where you go through and you complete levels. In every level, you find yourself facing one enemy the entire level until you find every key you need, and then you unlock a gate that leads you to the boss of the level, and that's how every level goes. Throughout the levels, you find chests, and in the chests, you can find food, which heal you, or gold, which is money. And at the very end of the level, once you are completed, you can use that gold to buy new weapons, or you can use the XP you get throughout the game, like a level, to upgrade stats. And overall, the game is very simple, and it doesn't have a lot going for it in its own regard. But at the same time, I was shocked when I found this game because it is a mediocre game at best. And that's not trying to be rude to the people who made it, but at the same time, like, you have very simple graphics, you have very simple gameplay. There isn't much variety whatsoever, but at the same time, I like to think of this game as a very good proof of concept because there are things that this game does have going for it, actually, at least to me. And that one of the main things I think is very interesting is the sense of leveling, because when you do level, like when you do complete a level, you gain XP for every enemy you defeat, and with that XP at the end of the game, you can increase a statistic that you have. There's three. There's, I think it's strength, agility, and endurance, and each gives you a special effect, like increased for strength, it's attack damage. For endurance, it's just how much damage you take, and agility is how fast you swing and walk. And I think that something scaling like that is very easy to do, but at the same time, it's such a simple thing that could work for such a like improved upon version of the game. Because with the game as it is now, if they were to remake it and put a lot more effort into it, that simple form of scaling would continue to work. And having enemies within the game that you have to defeat, like the style of game, like a dungeon crawling that you have to go through, defeat enemies, and then defeat a boss at the end, that's nothing new. That I feel like that's an established thing, and I think that could also work. I think that this game is a very bare bones like idea, and I think that if expanded on and a lot of effort was put into it, like I think it's entirely possible this game and its developers could succeed. Um, I don't know how much success this game brought them, or whoever made this, because on Steam, if I go through, I see people in the community, and I personally bought it myself. So obviously they're doing enough, and I just feel like it's so interesting that a lot of these games like this go unnoticed, and many of them are written off. And it's like, yeah, this is not a good game by any means. It's just really simple, is what I can really say about it. It's just to go in and play this game, like, despite certain features, like, because, like, despite, like, the experience I had while playing, because there are some times I got frustrated because of things just happening that were irritating, I still wanted to play. I still wanted to beat it. So I continued. And I continued until I beat it. Um, for the most part, the combat is very simple, but it's very interesting in the sense that it works well for what it is. Because you go into this game and then you have these moments where you're fighting the enemies, right? And when they swing or attack, they have very telegraphed attacks. So it's very easy to move out of the way. Except for, I will say, those goblins on level 2 gave me a headache when I first played this game. But besides the point. So the attacks are very, very telegraphed. You can back away, step back in, take hits, and it's a very interesting, like, it's a very interestingly fluid, like, emotion of, like, dodging hits, attacking, moving back, and then, like, repeating. It's very, I want to say, like, it's satisfying to do. Because, like, there are times where I even found myself getting hit in this game. Like, when I was revisiting it now and recording this, I found myself getting hit still, and then it's still satisfying to get over those enemies. And at the same time, when you're going to grab keys, for the most part, it's all but one level. You have to jump over something. The jumping in this game is so short. It's such a short jump. It gives me anxiety every time I jump, because if you miss that jump, you're dead. You have to restart. It's terrifying. But also, it's just so interesting having such a simple game work so well for me. For some reason, something about this game just, like, flips a switch in my brain and it works. I don't know. And one of the things that I will say is this game is horrifying. I don't know why. There's just specific music or ambient sounds that play that just, like, are abruptly really loud or just, like, eerie for no reason. And it's just like, what is going on? What am I playing? Crypt the Serpent King is what I'm playing. And for some reason, it's so good. It's so compelling to play. I don't know. It's so odd. I just can't get over how much of a grasp this game has on me for how simple and oddly effective it is. But as I was saying, the music in this game, for some reason, fits unnaturally well, and it goes unnaturally hard. I don't know. It's just so interesting because for such a simple game that I would assume is just a Unity asset flip, because I'm pretty sure it's powered by Unity. It's so odd how well this game works for me again. I just cannot stress enough how much potential this game has if the developers or developer put in way more effort into just making it better. And I've honestly, one thing that Steam does not have that Xbox does is Xbox has an optimized version of this game for Xbox Series X and S, where they did increase, like, the graphic fidelity, like, and make it look better. And I feel like seeing that shows me the potential to have a better game. And it's interesting. I would love for this game to be revisited and more work be put into it. I wish that could happen. It's just so frustrating that it hasn't yet, other than that Xbox Series X and S optimization. Because even that doesn't exist on Steam, as far as I know. I mean, it could. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll check after this and put a little note. But it's really hard to say how... What do I feel like this game could do better? First of all, switch up the gameplay a little bit, but not too much to where you're overdoing it. Because I do like the simplicity of it. Because I do like how it isn't trying to do too much. It's a very simple concept and it's executed simply. Well, for what it is. And what it is a $2 game that is just for fun at this point. One thing I just obviously like, another thing, obviously increase the graphics, make it a little bit like make it look better, you know, or if you want to stick with the graphics style, at least flesh it out a little bit more because I will say some of the textures are just very gray because it's almost as if they just didn't bother to do the rest, and it's just that little bit is irritating because it's like how much more work would it have been? I don't know. I'm not a game developer. Maybe it would have been a lot. Who knows? Um, Obviously, there are the obvious two of giving the enemies more interesting attacks, and increasing graphics. I will say something that I feel like could be changed in a way that I just now thought about is in the game you're going through and in majority of the hallways you'll find enemies. I wish that there was a decrease in enemies, but more like environmental hazards that's not just jumping. Like, I don't know, it's a very dungeon heavy game, so maybe have like swinging axes or something like how you have in like Oblivion or Skyrim. Have something similar to that degree. Like, or maybe even booby traps in a way. It's just something simple, something like on theme that could work. Um, but again, like, there are certain aspects that I feel like could be changed. Um, and like going into it, obviously, it's easy for somebody to say, like, oh yeah, fix this, do this, and all that. But this is not something very simple. Somebody had to put in the work to create this game. And they did. And it's very easy for somebody in the audience, somebody who was playing, to say, oh, just do this. It'll be better if you did this. Like, I don't know. I feel very snobby for saying, like, oh, it could be better if you did this, because I've never made a game. I feel like if I made a game, it would stress me out a lot. I feel like I wouldn't be able to handle it. I feel like it would be so much. And especially because once I were to release it, I would stress. I would be so I would have so much anxiety that it's not going to do well or something. But this person put out a game or this team, whoever it may be. I don't honestly I still don't know. Um but overall, I really do wish that this game got revisited more than just like the optimization. Obviously, the optimization is a good first step if they were to continue off of that because the game doesn't look great on its regular like run. Um, it's just so interesting because I this game just came to me. It's like you're walking and then like just a stray cat comes up to you. It was just such a odd and unexpected meeting, but I'm so glad it happened because like I found this game abruptly on Xbox and I feel like I found like a hidden gem. Maybe not that hidden, I don't know. I've never seen people play this game. Maybe it's more popular than I think, but it is a fun game overall. It's very interesting. It's very fun just to play for fun. Like, I don't know. Don't go into it expecting like a big old story or great gameplay, great graphics or anything because you're not going to get any of that. But it's just like an oddly fun game just to like kind of sit down and play for a little bit. Especially since not like at most this game took me like an hour 30 just to get through the levels, and that's with me like dying a couple times because I was rusty. But you know, there's just so many like little kinks about this game that's fun. One of the main things is throughout the video. I don't know if you have been paying attention, but I walk like kind of diagonally a lot because this is one of those games that didn't really process that idea of movement, and you actually run faster going diagonally, which is funny. Um, there's that. A lot of enemies can't really hit you while you're doing that. Um, I think I've also heard from reviews that jumping also breaks the game. Like if you jump around enemies, they cannot hit you. So there's just fun stuff like that. And you're gonna get that kind of stuff with like this kind of caliber of game. And that I think that's fine. I genuinely think that there's room. I feel like there should always be room for games that are just fun. Maybe not even fun in like the sense of like how other games are that are good. It's just like so mediocre, or I feel bad saying bad because somebody put in work for this, but so I guess just for simplicity's sake, I will say bad. So bad, it's fun. And it's just, I don't know. I'm glad that this game came across to me. I'm so glad I found this and stumbled across this because it is one of the silliest games I've played. Just overall. Going into level 2, seeing those goblins for the first time, it was fun until I realized how much of a pain they were, but, you know. And then ultimately, like, facing off against the bosses, like, nothing too special, but at the same time, like, there is a sense of reward after because I feel like I earned it getting through the whole level, exploring the whole dungeon, and then at the end beating the boss. And there is that feeling of disappointment if I go through a whole level only to just die at the end or fall into some lava or something, and it's so disappointing and it's so frustrating, but I want to keep playing because I want to do it right. It's just so interesting, I guess. Again, I can't like understate how happy I am. Like I won't let myself how happy I am that this game I was able to find this game. But I guess that there's not really much more that I feel like I can say because I feel like I went over what I think that this game could do, uh, why I like this game, just everything about it. It's just a very silly game. And honestly, if you haven't played it and maybe you're interested in this video or in general, go ahead and get it. It's like $2 on Steam. It's called Crypt of the Serpent King. If you have an Xbox, they also have it there, or you can get the Xbox Series X and S optimized version also there. I don't think it's that much of a price difference, if at all, but I'd recommend it. Cheap game, fun to play for a little bit, and fun to revisit too, because that's what I did, and that's what inspired me to make this video today. But I guess now I have went on long enough, and I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video and go to bed. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that if you like this video, you will go ahead and maybe consider checking out any of my other videos. Yeah, I feel like I've wasted your guys' time enough talking about an odd game that I found one day called Crypt of the Serpent King. But I appreciate you guys listening, and I will yap again in the future. And I hope to see you then. Alright, bye.